Hint number one, the Codex. My dad once told me that you're either in a storm, you're coming out of a storm, or you're in between storms. Storms can be analogous to chaos. There's a lot of chaos in the world right now. So one of the ways to stay out of chaos, which is circular, non-directional motion, is to pick a direction, or pick a purpose, or pick a horizon line. Sam Keen, who wrote a book called Learning to Fly, wrote about ontological anxiety. He says the greatest two fears we have is that we have no purpose and we're all alone. In our culture, to get through chaos is to find purpose. The concept of codex is to find purpose, is to find what our characteristics are. A codex, by definition, is a series of explanations of an old book. In my definition, it comes from people who play games, especially role-playing games. Dungeons and Dragons or Warhammer have a description of the characteristics of the person who's playing the game. It tells them their history, it tells them their background, it tells them their strengths, it tells them their weaknesses. It gives them all the characteristics that they need to play the game. Unfortunately, most of us do not have one of these for our own personal life. So to find a codex helps us to find purpose. There are 3 levels of codex. The first one is who we are in our character, our basic human being, and how we manifest ourselves as human being. The second one could be in our jobs and or our tasks. What is our horizon line? What is our purpose in this job that we're moving through? And the third one is through relationships. What is our purpose in this relationship? What does it look like? What is our outcomes that we're looking for? These become horizon lines that we can point towards when things get chaotic or in storms. The first one around codex for character is to pick who we are as a human being. We get to decide this. We get to decide what the characteristics we are and how we manifest those. Are we going to be strong? Are we going to be gentle? Are we going to be courageous? What are our characteristics that we have and how do we want to manifest those? In our jobs, what we're looking for is, what is our purpose in this job? Because a job where you're just trying to make money versus a job where you're trying to learn something or you're trying to create community are 3 different outcomes, which will have us have different outcomes within that job. The last one is around our relationships. Purpose around relationships, I imagine, is a dartboard. We have inner relationships that we really want to nurture. Those are the ones that are closest to us. This is the bullseye of the target. Those we want to put a lot of energy in and decide ahead of time who those people are and how we nurture them. As we move on the rings out of the middle of the dartboard, we have less connection to and less investment in these relationships. So as people change and move, we move them in and out, which creates purpose in our relationship, which creates energy. The one I really want to talk about is the concept of codex around character. How do we create character? The best way I've seen to do that is to imagine someone who is a role model for you, and imagine those characteristics that if you would give them a compliment. So imagine that person and think of something. Is it their strength? Is it their humor? Is it their work ethic? Is it their integrity? What is it? And write down a compliment that you would have about that person. Then think about another person who's a role model in your life and do the exact same thing. And think of a characteristic that pops to the top of them. What is their characteristic? And write a compliment for them. And then think of up to maybe 3, maybe 4 people in your life and write down these characteristics, these compliments that you would have around this person. The theory is that you can't see something in someone else that you don't see in yourself. As you look back through these characteristics, these compliments, these are the same characteristics and compliments that could or probably do encompass your own codex. If you picked integrity for someone else, it's probably something you value in yourself. If there's humor in someone else, then there's probably humor inside of yourself. So to take these, to start a beginning codex, is to turn these into the characteristics that you have for yourself and write these down. These are the kind of characteristics that I want in my life. The next step is to turn these into actions. Take the characteristic and turn it into an outcome. If the characteristic is integrity, then every day you would do what you say you're going to do. If the characteristic is humor, you're going to find something you can laugh about each day. If the characteristic is hard work, then each day you would make sure that you fill up your day with work that you needed to do. So now what you've done is written down, this is who I'm going to be. These are very easy to follow when there's not a storm. But in this chaotic world we live in, we are in a constant storm. We are constantly under stress. And so to help make decisions on what we're going to do or who we're going to be, this becomes a reference point. This becomes your horizon line. So now you can look out on your horizon and say, I'm going to move through this storm, this situation, this conflict with honor, with integrity, with humor, so that when you do get stuck, you can start your day with an intention. And that intention is, this is the kind of human being I'm going to be as I move through this conflict or this situation.
Hey there, my name is Evan and I am a social emotional intelligence trainer by trade, and the skill that I am talking about today is the Codex. Now, the Codex I've found has a wide range of applications from personal to professional and everything in between. For me, it's become a part of my daily life. I get to check in with the items on my Codex and make sure that I am setting my intentions to live up to those things on a daily basis. And when things change in my life, I get to revisit that and revise that. And things changing can be good things, could be bad things. When things go downhill, it gives me something to work towards, something to look forward to. And when things are going good, I get to revise that Codex so that I can make things even better. Now, the outcome for me is that I truly have been able to be the person that I want to be on a daily basis. It gives me that landmark to hold myself accountable to. Now, if you have the opportunity to practice the Codex in any form, because there are many ways to do a Codex, I would strongly encourage it. It's been one of the greatest things for me. I hope this was helpful, and have a good one.
My name is Chad Bertram. I'm Vice President Innovation in a Fortune 200 company. My job can be very stressful. Often I would feel like I'm sacrificing my family or some sort of core values of my own, and I had more bad days than good. I was pretty unhappy. About a year ago, I was ready to quit my job. I had the opportunity to take Kairos training. I've actually been through it twice now. Constructing my Codex has been an absolute epiphany for me. To put down on paper my guiding principles of who I am and who I want to be has been life-changing. I think I'm on version 6 or 7 of my Codex now. They've all been similar. I've continued to make minor improvements as I think about it more. Every morning I review my Codex. I reflect on what it means to me, how well I did yesterday, what I'll do differently today. Honestly, it gets my head straight, and today I have far more good days than bad. My Codex has been an integral part of my journey.
Thank you for watching the video. My greatest hope is that by watching this, you either change your mindset or your intention or your practice. In this chaotic world, one of the things that brings back hope and help is a concept of bringing back control. And control comes back in little pieces. So through practice and rituals, you can regain control and regain energy. When we are fatigued and we are exhausted, one of the things we forget is where we do have control and where we do have power. Control and power comes through how we express the energy we have in our life. It also comes through how we change the rituals and the routines that we're practicing. Through watching this video, I hope you found a way to change your mindset and your outcomes and found a better and healing place to find energy. If you have any more questions, you're welcome to go to kairosSEI.com, where you can find more resources and more information on our website. Thank you.